Today we are honoring Bridget Mary McCormack for being inducted into the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame. It's hard for me to call her Bridget. I'm so used to calling her Justice McCormack or Chief.
Bridget Mary McCormack was a dean and professor of law at the University of Michigan Law School. She helped to start the Michigan Innocence Clinic, which is responsible for the exoneration of many wrongly imprisoned persons. She then came to the Michigan Supreme Court, where she was a justice for 10 years and chief justice for 4. I'd say she was most passionate about access to justice issues, making sure that everyone who interacted with the court system was treated fairly and felt like they had their voice heard.
She was on the Limited English Proficiency Committee, and that committee worked very hard to ensure that persons who did not speak English as their primary language could still have access to the court system. That committee was critical in that my wife is a court interpreter, so she has seen a lot of this firsthand, where prior to the court rules being amended as a result of that committee's work, people would be trying to use their children, or they'd have to bring friends into court to interpret. And legalese is hard enough for lawyers, but for people who have no familiarity with the legal system, to try and come in and translate what's happening in a court system is not good. And so that is one aspect of her work that I think has changed things very much for the better and will continue for the foreseeable future.
I think what she recognized that not everybody always does is that not everybody necessarily comes to court feeling like they have to win. Sometimes it's just enough that they got their voice heard. And I think that she was very cognizant of that and most passionate about ensuring that that everyone's voices were heard.
It's one thing if you are an attorney and you have to take an afternoon off to run to court to fight a speeding ticket, but it's another thing if you're a server or you work in a factory, or you provide daycare. The changes that she implemented, partly as a result of COVID, but they were already in process before that, are going to assist people going forward in those capacities for a long time. And she was very passionate about making sure everyone was able to have access to the court system when they needed it.
Why I think she belongs in the Women's Hall of Fame is because Bridget is a deeply compassionate and caring person who was a wonderful person to work for and with, and for whom I will always have the utmost respect. And just I don't know what else to say other than that.
The pebble that's being thrown in the pond with the ripples that are spreading all over. And if you look at the career of Bridget Mary McCormack, going from the Innocence Clinic at U of M through how incredibly consequential her term was as both justice and chief justice, it's going to impact many lives going forward for many years, and all for the better.